Hey everybody, welcome to the Round 9 review. Carlton, Melbourne, Sunday at the MCG. It was the D's 13-16-94 to the Blues 10-8-68 in just another very familiar game for us against a final side, good side, genuine test, top team as it stands right now. And it's just demoralizing for me to sit here and do this again and go show up week after week, find something to believe in, find a reason why we're going to show up today, and then just watch them crumble again and watch the reaction, watch the division, leave the ground asking more questions than having answers. It was to be honest, it was a really different experience yesterday. It was very numb. I spoke last week a little bit about, I was wondering whether the psychology of the team would be affected after that loss to the Western Bulldogs because of the way that we obviously were in such a dominant position and just weren't able to get the job done. And I was worried and mindful of if that would carry into this week and really for the rest of the season when we do play against these sides. And I just couldn't help but feel like it did. I thought the first quarter was pretty competitive. I thought we gave up a terrible goal, like with the last kick of the quarter. I think we did it again in the second quarter as well, a goal in red time, and down by 13 at half time. To be honest with you, I was still very confident. There were some things that I really did like about the first half and what I was seeing. I did love the intent. I actually really liked that Newman was back in the side. I thought it unlocked something for us. I can't really put my finger on it, but it just looked better. It allowed Stocker to play in the midfield, which I really enjoyed seeing. I'm going to get to him in a moment. I think we pushed Doc up onto the wing a little bit. I really enjoyed that. I really thought that was a tick. Zach Williams behind the ball, I thought that was a tick. And there were just things that were happening where I just said to myself, if we can just clean it up, we're in this game. And then it just came down to moments throughout that game. And Melbourne took the moments and we didn't. And that's where I think, because there is a notion out there that we're not that far away. And I think when it comes down to those moments, if they go the other way, then maybe we're ready to go. But I think demoralizing is the best word that I can use for this team at the moment. As a supporter and someone who likes to go to every game and really commit a lot of time and emotional and spiritual energy, to the club and do this for a living. It's really demoralizing to go there and watch them dish it up again. What hurts is just the division of the fans too, because and everyone's got different tolerance levels to it. Some people are really steadfast in these are our core values and we're winning and we have to keep the winning mentality. And I'm like that as well. I'm very much like that. The patting on the back for effort and trying and all of that, for me, that's loser's mentality. That is loser's mentality. It's blunt. I feel like it's a bit of a watching Australian fans and watching our fans is a bit of a microcosm for Australian society, if I'm being honest. And I never really understood that until I left the country. We're such beautiful people, but we're so well protected and we're so sheltered here that we don't realize that we're pretty soft. And it's probably born out of the fact that we're so safe here. We have so many rules, so many regulations, and we're so far away from danger. And, talking from a personal experience, I've got, so many friends of mine at the moment living in Tel Aviv and in Israel and even in the Palestinian territories and areas who are, on any given moment, running down to their bomb shelters and whatnot. And so I'm really able to put it into perspective. It is just a game, and we're very lucky to be able to just be upset about our football team losing. But on the other end, it just pains me to see our footballers and our team not recognise and understand how privileged they are to do what they do by their actions, not by their words. Because I hear a lot of them say, we are privileged and whatnot, but by their actions and by the way they actually go out and execute their job or fail to execute their job consistently, it just annoys me. It really does, because there is so much more out there in this world that is hard, is actually hard, and they make they make a game of AFL look excruciatingly hard. And I think there's so many things I could say. I'm going to try and not ramble too much, but one of my main overall messages about what I saw yesterday, and again, I'm always thinking about what would the 20, 30, 40 years version of me look back at this video, and that's the message I want to portray back, is I haven't seen a team. I haven't seen 22. I haven't seen a unit. There have been various instances this season where the principles of a united front have to apply, and they haven't. I think against Port Adelaide, Pitto getting in a wrestle with Scott Lysette, nobody getting involved in that. Liam Stocker kicking his first goal, nobody getting around him except for, I think, Nick Newman and Fogarty and Liam Jones. What's going on? What's happening? What is happening? How is that? Where is the team? Where is the team spirit? It's. I see cliques, if that makes sense. I see a group of close boys here and a group of close boys there, and you don't always have to be best mates off the field. And you look at any sport around the world, the great teams, not all of them were best pals, and that's fine. But once you got onto the field or the court or whatever the arena of gameplay that you were playing, there has to be some sort of a united front. And this game in particular, I mean, you got 22 players. It's a fucking war. This is as close to going to the Coliseum and watching a battle as you get in sport, and that's what makes it so great. And I just don't see a team at the moment, and that's where I question coaching. Now, fuck me. Let's talk about coaching for a minute.
Is he still taking injections to get through games?
No, not that I know, not that I'm aware of.
He did that.
Yeah, he may have. I'm not sure. They just, as long as they're fit and they're playing. I don't know what the medical side of things were. I know he had a sore back. We managed it from a training point of view, but he's fine now. So the story right now should be, is Cripper fine to play? Yes, he is.
So that happened during the week. I knew he was lying. I fucking knew he was lying straight away. I sent it to everyone who I was talking to. That's a man fucking lying through his teeth. And then in his press conference after the game, he does this.
So you mentioned the media conference the other day, and you said you didn't handle yourself too well. Like, in what aspect do you think?
I thought the injury was in the past. Like, it hampered him in rounds 2 and 3. So when it got brought up, I was probably a bit frustrated, and I probably wasn't as honest and direct as I probably could have been. At the end of the day, what the message I wanted to get across was he's fine now. And
guys, like, I understand we all have different opinions. I love David Teague, don't get me wrong. I think I've said it before. I thought he was 100% the person for the job. What am I watching? We sit here every week and we ask, our leaders need to be good under pressure. It's not Doherty and Cripps and Murphy and Jones and Caspar. Under pressure, the pressure comes. They don't know how to win. There's no winners around to teach them. What do you expect? The coach is crumbling under pressure. And straight away, I'm watching it last night. I watched the press conference after the fan cams. And I couldn't believe what I was watching. That's the head coach of the Carlton Football Club. Does that even mean anything to anyone at the club anymore? Does the Carlton Football Club have any? Does it not make them feel something else? It's not just a sporting team. It's so much more than that. And if the media, I don't know who's responsible in that regard. Is it communications team or media team? Do they not brief David Teague about what the questions or what the club's position are on certain things before he goes to press conferences? Because the way I see it, he's either done a press conference, been briefed and muffed it and forgotten what he was supposed to say, or he wasn't briefed and he was just thrown out there and he was just supposed to give an answer. And guys, this is a fucking circus. This is a joke. It's a fucking joke. What's he doing? Come on. Don't tell me that TDK and Fisher and Charlie Curnow and Mitch McGovern are going to fix that. This is a guy that's crumbling under pressure, and we're asking his players to know what to do under pressure when he doesn't even know what to do. And I fucking love David Teague. I love him. I think he's a beautiful human being. But it's not about that anymore. It's not about being nice. It's about doing what's necessary to win. And are we really going to sit through What have we got left? Is it 13 games left? Are we really going to sit through 13 games with the assistant coach group and that coaching group? Is that what we're going to do? Is that what happens? Are we sitting through 13 more weeks of the blind leading the fucking blind? Is that what's happening? Come on! When is it going to fucking end? When is it going to end? When are we going to improve? The players that are missing, okay, I take it. We're probably not at our best because we haven't got our full complement there. But then it comes down to how can you coach a system? Because a system is what sustainable success is all about. Not a team of champions, a team of individuals. Richmond's a perfect example of that. Sydney's a great example of that. They've missed Buddy for how long? How long? Sam Reed's been in and out of that team as well. I mean, but the system, and I just don't believe we have a system. I think there's plenty of good players on the park. I think our top liners are underperforming. And I'm left, honestly, I'm fucked, mate. I'm fucked now. Like, Mick Malthouse, who I know a lot of people don't like in our community, in our Carlton community, but in his book, it's called The Earth is Slow. Sorry, the fox is slow, but the earth is patient. And he talks about if you lose hope, if you don't have hope for something, like you're pretty much dead. And so I look, as much as it fucking pains me to hear people say it's only 4 goals against the top sides, because in my head, that's loser mentality. That is a loser mentality. If your measuring stick is being close enough to the top teams, as opposed to winning or losing against the top teams, you've already lost the battle. So I have that in my mind, and that's my mentality, and that's me. But then there is obviously a complement of people who think differently, and I think there's a lesson in, we all think differently, and this is my view, and this is someone else's view who might think that being 4 goals within Melbourne and the top teams is good enough for where we're at and the injuries that we have. And the test is to be tolerant of each other. And that's the challenge, and that's the beauty of life. And to be honest, that's probably one of the keys to, peace. And, you see what's going on in the world. And if only we were just tolerant of each other and we found a way to, have that common ground. But I just strongly disagree with what I'm watching. I just strongly disagree with it. I can't fucking believe this is happening. And I say it every week. I believe in these players, and that's why I'm so frustrated. I really do. I think there's so much talent there. But they don't play together. They don't play for each other. I know that we have ins and outs every week, but there's just so much I don't like about what's going on as a collective, as a mental. And I'm going to play this clip from Kevin Garnett. Just fucking hit me in the soul today.
Kevin, you're doing as well as you did last year, personally. But I tend to get the
this
feeling...
Ain't golf.
Huh?
This ain't golf. This ain't tennis. It ain't about me. It's about us. It ain't about nothing else I'm doing. I'm just one of the pieces. It ain't about what I'm doing.
It's about the unit. Melbourne were a unit. They're unreal. They're not even that good. They just play together. They're brilliant. Fair play to them. And, maybe it is just a bit of more patience. Maybe it is. Maybe we need to wait and see if Saad and Williams can really gel with this group. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe in 12 months from now we'll be better. Maybe COVID was the reason why we've stunted in development. Maybe that is the case. And maybe I need to calm down a little bit. But I just take it on face value what I'm seeing week to week, and I just see the same pattern. I've seen 2019. We played Richmond late in the season. We lost by 4 goals. We played West Coast late in the season, who won the premiership. The year before that, we lost by 4 goals. Remember Sam Walsh kicks that goal in the first quarter. Played at Marvel. 2020, we actually beat Geelong. We beat the Doggies. We got within 4 goals of Richmond. We've been within 4 goals of these top teams for a while now. This isn't new. What happened against Melbourne is not new. We've been within 4 goals with a couple of injuries for fucking years. This isn't new. And if we always have them, in my opinion, if we always have the mentality of if we had X, Y, and Z, we would be better, we're never going to get better. It's about taking ownership now of what you do have. And I don't think we're doing that, you know? And that's why I question assistant coaches, administrators, football department. Like, what are the standards being set from the top? What are the behaviors being set from the top? Because the behaviors that are now translating onto the field that are allowed to continue to happen are not good enough. Like, fuck, man, we're 3-6. We're supposed to be, we are expecting finals this year. And those who say they don't expect finals this year, fair enough. You don't expect finals this year. You might be protecting your emotions because you just, you know, whatever. Everyone has their own prerogative. But the club said finals this year. They recruited in the off-season, which dictated by their actions that finals were on the agenda. The playing of guys like Setterfield in the reserves, in the guts, on the ball, and then moving him to the wing when he comes into the AFL, it's baffling. The constant confusion that I see. You know, I listened to Craig Bellamy talk about how he literally summarizes everyone's role into 3 objectives and make sure that they're focusing on that. I'm confused watching the game style because they're all moving. They're all moving parts at all times. Can you only imagine them? Dave Cunningham was going to play a job on Lever. Terrible news. He's done his knee. I don't know how severe it is at the time of making this video. And then it was like, well, we're going to put, Cunningham on. David Teague was saying they were going to put Cunningham on Lever because he's a bit of an aerial specialist, they felt, which was interesting to me. I think he did it against Easton Wood one time and it kind of worked. So fair enough. It was good. It was actually pretty good and refreshing to hear the thinking. Then he said, well, then we went with Owies in that role, and I'm not a coach, so it's hard to critique. But my brother, he's 19. He sat next to me and he literally screamed at me in the middle of the force. He's like, why am I coming? And it fucking hurt me, man. It fucking hurt me while hearing him say that. Hurt me hearing him say that. And he is a microcosm of the rest of the young supporters. Like, I'm a young supporter and I've seen a couple of finals runs and that's what I'm holding my hat on. But these kids have seen nothing, man. This is a niche sport. It's a niche sport. And, these kids have seen nothing. These, under 18 kids have seen nothing but fucking failure. And in a funny way, there is a silver lining to that because it is going to prepare them for the real world. Because the real world is fucking hard. It's tough. It's brutal. Yeah, it's really hard. And not everything is just given to you and you're not just a winning team every year and whatnot. So it is a good preparation for life, but I don't even know what to say anymore. I just don't. The player of the game, Player, our sponsor, our great sponsor at Player, I'm going to give it to Sam Doherty. I thought he was outstanding. I thought I think his last few weeks have really been good as a captain. I love the way he played. I like the move of him being up the ground. I'm going to give it to him. But what about you guys? I do apologise for this dragging on a little bit. I just had a lot to get off the chest. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, where are you at? Where's your mentality? Are you in the mentality of it's just not good enough and we've got to make changes now, or like I'm lost? So some help would be great. Some context would be great. Some perspective would be great. We'll chat about it in the comments and go from there. Go the Mighty Blues.